Hi, welcome back. It's been a minute. Like when you're seeing this, it's actually been like almost 3 weeks since I've recorded a video, so I kind of feel like out of the loop a little bit. But this is kind of like not necessarily an update, but just like things going on in my life. But also like something like really like big happened. I mean, it's not big in the sense like, oh, like it's super life changing, but to me it feels big, because it's like, when people like are on crutches, like they injure like their ankle or their leg or something, and then they can finally like go back to like to the usual, where they're just like walking regularly without the assistance of like their friends or like the crutches or whatever. That's what it feels like, because if you've ever seen the title, like I'm no longer going to therapy, and it's weird, but it's also refreshing because like it's also been 2 weeks since I broke up with my therapist, but it's nice. But also like we had a really good conversation just about like how I've gone from struggling and being like a sobbing mess every day to like actually like going towards baby steps to loving myself, and like trying to get back to like the routine that I want, like the stability in my life and things like that, like I've talked about before. And it's just really like validating and really like freeing and nice to know that there's like someone who appreciates your progress. And I know like people who don't go to therapy, maybe you kind of don't. So I can compare it to like a situation where like your boss is like, hey, like you're doing a great job, or like your parents are like we're so proud of you for doing this, like like here's like a small reward, like whether it's like like money or like your first car, or like them like helping you pay like tuition or whatever, what I mean, like being validated for like the work that you've done, whether it's like mentally, physically, or like academically, or in a career sense. It's just really nice to someone say like, hey, like I see you working so hard and I'm so proud of you, even though like I know you don't get told this a lot. But that's what it felt like, because I feel like now like I have a really good foundation for myself, like I can reach out to my friends if I need to, even though like I haven't talked to them in a minute. But I'll do that today. I'm gonna check with my friends. I've been telling John how, like, that's my boyfriend, I've been telling him how I've been feeling, and I also have a big thing that I've noticed is that like at work, like I'm not so I don't like my job. I don't love it, but I also don't, like it. But I know the big thing that I've seen within myself is that I'm working just as hard usually. But I'm not like complaining as much, like I'm not angry all the time. I'm not feeling any like negative emotions. And that's usually like I'll come in and I'll already be miserable, But now it's just like I'm ready to work, but I'm not like, I don't come in mad, I don't come in sad, I don't come in angry, and that's a big thing, because I struggle a lot with negative emotions, like if a customer's rude to me, I'll be rude back. But now it's just like, it's above me, it's just like I can't, I don't always know what's wrong with customers and guests, like maybe they just want to take it on a service worker, or it's just like whatever, like us putting like brown rice instead of white rice or whatever was like the last straw for them, So I try to like put myself in their shoes, but also it's just like, don't be a dick to service workers, we're already underpaid and overworked. Maybe consider that, But other than that, I feel free, I feel like I'm piloting on my own. Like it's scary, but it's great, and I'm like really excited, And I feel like I've also been like more in tune with my emotions. So if you feel like, well, if you're in the same situation as me and you feel like you've done a lot of work like on your own already, like maybe you haven't been in therapy I've been in therapy for maybe like 2 years in total, like with like group therapy, individual therapy, and then with my new therapist. If you feel like it's not necessarily working, or like you feel like your therapist isn't pushing you enough, like you can switch your therapist, or you can just cut cold turkey, because I feel like now like I've been journaling a little bit more, I've been painting a little bit more. I've actually, I haven't been editing videos, but I feel like now more than ever, since I have a little bit more free time, I'm not working a second job, I can invest more time in my YouTube channel, I just feel, so free. And I don't really say this word a lot, because I feel like I'm not really joyous or happy a lot, but I feel very independent, and I'm like excited to do this on my own, because for so long, I felt like therapy was my crutch. Obviously it's like, I just needed some of my experience to be validated and know that like I'm not crazy, and that an incident in my life that was very like impactful, I didn't realize that it had affected almost every facet of my life, my relationships, my relationship with food, my relationship with my coworkers, the way that I carry myself, whether I'm underweight or overweight. And it's just like crazy to know, just like as a person, when something like so traumatic happens to you, it literally affects your entire life. And I wasn't seeing it in that light. I was seeing it as more so like, I need to get over this, this happened 2 years ago, So why am I still crying about it? Why am I still not in a good place, mentally? And so with that, I felt like, you know, he validated some of those things, and I felt like now it's like it's time for me to be on my own. So like, I haven't necessarily been like in tune with my emotions like lately, like since I've left therapy, but I know now, especially since making this video, you know, like I can't say stuff and then just be a liar, you know. I want to be accountable for the things that I say on the internet. And so it feels kind of weird from going to like my last R&R where it's like, if you need help, get it, to now it's just like, I'm no longer in therapy. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be still utilizing tactics, you know. Like I have a book that's about like trauma with the body, so I'm going to be reading that, you know. I still have some notes from my classes that talk about just like people who go through these things and how it affects them, you know. So I still have a lot of resources to rely back on, especially like with my friends and my classes and the books that I have, you know. So I'm not going to be alone in a sense that like I'm not going to be working on my mental health, but it's more so that like now I'm relying on myself, so I have to be aware of these things. And that's another thing that I have to work on, that I have to be aware of my emotions and how I'm feeling, because I suppress my emotions. No, I suppress my emotions a lot, and that's not good. But I feel like, especially like videos of like cats, and then like I remember I was watching this video of like a kid who lost his cat for like a year, and then like they reunited, and I cried in bed, and I was like, John, look at this video, and he's like, why are you crying? I was like, because it's so sweet, you know. But now it's like I'm not even like crying because I'm depressed, because I'm sad. It's like crying tears of joy, and it's like, oh shit, like I'm alive, I'm feeling these things. And it's weird because for so long, you know, I haven't felt anything else other than like sadness and anger and depression, you know. And now I can feel the things, you know. I can feel like weird, I can feel awkward, I can feel the whole spectrum of human emotions, you know, not just like depression and sadness. And so I think that's also a big feat in itself. And to just, I mean, I've kind of already done a little bit of reflecting, but just to reflect on that, I feel like I can say this and it's on the internet, so like it's certain that I'm proud of myself for the work that I've done, even though like, you know, I haven't shared a lot of it or whatever, because it's personal to me, and I feel like I'm not ready to like, you know, share all of the bad things that have happened with me yet. But I'm just proud of myself for coming this far, and I'm also proud of myself for realizing that my therapist is great and I love him, and if he ever sees this video, like, you're amazing, I love you, but he wasn't gonna push me to where I need to be pushed to actually get out of my comfort zone, because I feel like since the incident happened, I haven't really been myself. I haven't really done things that I would usually do, you know. So I feel like I have to return to my old self, or either, you know, become a combination of the two, new and old, you know, because I mean, that's, progress looks different for everybody, you know. It's not linear. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna be up and I'm down. It's like a roller coaster, you know. Some days you have really good days, some days you have really bad days. Bad, good, you know, the intermediate, you know, where it's like, oh, you know, we're normal now, you know. It's different for everybody, and I feel like I was stagnating a little bit, but now I feel like I'm kind of out of my funk, you know. Like I'm not laying in bed for hours at a time, you know. I'm actually like making smoothies again. I'm actually cooking again. It's just like, it's good to feel alive again. And I feel like if you're kind of in the same spot of me, maybe, you know, it's time to change things up. Maybe we need to cut out people in our life. Maybe we need to go for a walk, go for a run. Maybe we need to start eating better. Maybe, you know, we just need a new trajectory in life. And I feel like that's where I'm kind of on, you know. My big goal is like stability, you know, and my routine and things like that. So that's what I'm really working on now, is just trying to wake up early every day, trying to eat my oats again, you know, some my smoothie stuff, you know. And another thing that I think is really, really, really important is that not to make, that's what my therapist told, like, you know, this is a tool he taught me also, is that just like, not to set such big and grandeur goals for yourself. Make them realistic, you know, make them attainable. Because the more, okay, so if you don't meet that goal, you know, that big ginormous goal you set for yourself, you're kind of playing yourself, because you know that it was too big for you to do. So now what we can do, instead of making this big goal, we can break it down to smaller, realistic goals. So, you know, let's say a big goal would be, oh, like, I want to lose 20 pounds. And if I don't lose 20 pounds by the end of the month, you know, I'm just gonna gain more weight, you know, like I'm just gonna give up completely. And that's not realistic, because one, you shouldn't really be losing 20 pounds in a month. It's like a realistic thing that I've like read online in studies and stuff, and within my nutrition classes also. So like I have a little bit of background, and not just spewing shit out of my ass, is that it should be like a pound a week. A pound a week is healthy. You know, 5 pounds or more, like you need to like see a doctor, like maybe like, you know, you got diarrhea, you're taking diuretics or whatever, you know, like at that point it's not healthy. But you know, maybe it's like, maybe if I can lose 5 pounds this month, maybe I can lose 4 pounds this month, maybe I can swap out, you know, bread for salad. Or maybe if I, you know, small goals, like I'm gonna start eating fruit, and then next week I'm gonna incorporate vegetables, and then next week I'm gonna eat a little bit less meat, you know, like, or also like maybe like Saturdays, whenever my days are off from work, I can start exercising, you know, to not over stress yourself and overexert yourself to reach that big goal, but to make it realistic so that you know you can do it, and that you know you won't feel guilty for not meeting the big goal, you know, because life happens, you know. I didn't upload for 2 weeks, so you know, I got my period, my glasses broke, you know, I didn't have any money. It was a stressful time, but that doesn't mean that I'm not responsible for that, you know. Like I was literally shitting on creators who don't do their YouTube grind, who don't like have videos backed up, and I have videos backed up, but I just haven't edited them. So yeah, I hope this video made some sort of sense. I feel like I just rambled, but I also am kind of excited to share this news with you guys. But yeah, more videos will be uploaded soon. We're gonna shift our schedule to be 2 videos to 3 videos, since I don't have a second job and I really want to grow my YouTube channel. So do me a favor, like, comment, and share this video. I would appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you guys just continue to grow and grow with me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.